What's up, everybody? It's JayViper here. Welcome back to another episode of Shit is Hitting the Fan, okay? People are melting down over Kingdom Come Deliverance II right now. There's a lot of bad actors out there, I think, that are trying to paint the game in a way that it isn't by just really not being honest about it. They could be honest about their issues, but I feel like they are really just trying to bend a lot of information to fit a narrative that just I don't think exists. There's real reasons to not like the game, and there's real reasons to like the game. It's just a personal preference, like I have gone over many times before on other videos about this and other video games. I'm here to give you information and then take that information and do with it what you will. That's how I feel my job is supposed to be. Anyway, from this, the game director, Daniel Vavra, is absolutely roasting some people online. And you know what? The melty melt, I'm here for it. We're going to get to all this right after you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
JayViper is awesome. He's so good looking. He's got the crowd in awe.
So day one, big news, and we were talking, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has already hit 1 million copies. And I mean, that's huge. We knew this was going to be a big one. This was going to be a popular game, and it is. 1 million copies day one. This is already a success. Let's be real, okay? This has already killed Veilguard. Veilguard, which we were told was going to be so great, and we knew that it was a huge issue and people rejected it. That is the case. Now, I bring up Veilguard because I think Veilguard has done massive, massive damage to the gaming industries and RPGs as a whole. We know how that was presented to us in such a way where we were told we were crazy with what we were seeing. The leaks came out. They were trying to ban the leakers. And then when we had the insider come forward to New Day and he gave all the information that turned out to be true, we were actually told that it was debunked by BioWare, which was not the case. BioWare absolutely was dishonest here from the beginning to the end. But let's get to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and what I think is happening to this game because of Veilguard and, of course, Outlaws and all those games who pretty much lied to us and gave us garbage where we were expecting better. So first of all, 1 million sold. It's moving along really well. And over on SteamDB, we can see that the peak is 159,000, and right now it's 157. Let's refresh and see if we've got a new peak. We do have a new peak. We have a new peak right now. It's 160. So it's looking like it's going up for the day. And so this is really good. Remember that Veilguard hit around 90. This is almost 2x that, and this is a much smaller team, a much cheaper game to make. This is already a commercial success where Veilguard was a 10-year failure. Now, just taking a quick look at Metacritic, we can only take people who actually review games with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't really like looking at reviews, but an 88 is really high. I mean, this is not a 70. This is not an 80. This is an 88. This is right around 90. I know it was at 92 not very long ago. The game's doing really well. So we don't have any user scores yet, and we won't until the 5th at 12. So that is very soon from me recording this. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, there's no information there. But it's got really good reviews. These are people who had it in hand. But again, I don't really like looking at these reviews. These are shills a lot of times. So, it's pretty much something that I'm going to play and I will make my own decision from. I think it's going to be pretty good. I can tell you right now that the controls are a little rough and it doesn't feel really smooth when you're playing. That is just the beginning. I'm only about 2 hours in, but the sword plays a little jank. And just walking up and down stairs, like right there in this video, actually, I had a hard time going up the stairs. I kept getting stuck, like going up the stairs. It was pretty annoying. But outside of that, the conversations, thing like that, seemed pretty good. I have seen no woke. Okay, it's not 20 minutes into the game like some people are trying to misrepresent. But, still a long ways to go for me to make a real decision and let you know what I think. And that is if you're even interested in knowing that. So, of course, one of the big things with this game is the gay romance. We heard there was a gay romance. We didn't know with who. It is with Hans. So this is a real problem, I think, with the game because Hans is very much a masculine dude who likes women. He's your friend. He was your enemy that became your friend and now your lover. I don't really like that story arc with Hans. I don't really like it with Henry. I don't think there's any need for this situation. Like the gay thing in the game, like he was canonically straight. I'm not a fan of this. That being said, Mass Effect 3, the same thing happened. And back then, I'm like, I'm not a fan of this. But you know what? The game is the game, and it's my shepherd. And this isn't Veilguard, where it's like, put in your face, like, put on the trans scars, and all the side quests are full of woke bullshit that are pandering to you freaking woke people, and they're pretty much preaching to anyone else. Like, this game, so far, from what I've seen and heard from people who've much further in the game, this is not like that, okay? And the fact that people are trying to say go woke, go broke with this game, I mean, I just don't feel like that's the case. But that being said, again, is that I absolutely hear the people that are not happy with this decision, and I agree with them. But at the same time, that's not going to kill the game for me. It just isn't. I mean, that's just how I feel. And you may disagree. You may be very mad at me about that. But I am not terribly upset with this decision. The fact that it's optional. And again, like, so Henry being straight in canon, that doesn't necessarily change. Remember, canon is canon, right? Having options in a game doesn't mean that the option you've chosen becomes canon. KCD3 or whatever Warhorse says will remain canon will be canon. Having options in a game with an RPG isn't canon. Remember in Mortal Kombat, you could beat that game with whoever the hell you wanted, but it was Liu Kang who was the canonic winner. It didn't matter if you beat the game with Cage or Sonya or anyone, Liu Kang was the winner, okay? So again, it's the same thing here. There's options of the game, but canon is its own thing. That's how I view it. And again, RPGs are RPGs. I mean, I don't mind having options that are deep cut away, but if you start preaching at me, that's where I really will start having a problem. And I don't see it yet. And of course, IGN has been all about pushing the whole Hans thing in people's faces. They know what gets clicks. They're showing pictures of him kissing all over the place. I mean, they can't really hold themselves back, but they are absolutely pretty much baiting people for clicks, 100%. One of the very first things that they put up there was how to romance Hans. They couldn't wait to let you know that there's gay in the game. They couldn't wait. So now let's get to some of these bad actors, but let's also take a look at what's happening to them because they're getting ripped apart also, and I think deservedly so. I mean, I'm not really happy with what I'm seeing from people like John Della Rose here, who I call him insanely disingenuous here. He's saying, while boasting high initial numbers, Kingdom Come Deliverance II is already dropping like a rock for players in the game. It seems people tried it out, but are fed up with the woke agenda inserting into everything. And so this is a lie. First of all, woke agenda inserted in everything. 2 hours in, I've seen nothing, okay? And people who are further, again, have seen nothing. It's really just not a thing. He's trying to show off 138,000 people are on right now after the 159,000 peak. This is at 2,200 UTC, folks. This is when American games that are like played by the Western side of the world, this is when they go down. This is very, very normal, okay? You see this all the time. This is disingenuous bullshit from John Della Rose, who really likes furries, and we will get into his Pokemon fetish very soon, unfortunately. And also, Tinker Yorch, who I've credited many times in my videos before, he's falling for the same shtick where he says it's fallen below GTA 5 in concurrent totals. 11-year-old game is beating it on launch day. Get woke, go broke. This is Grand Theft Auto, which continues to be played late at night, where it has 5M situation that is propping that game up. Incredibly, it is the aftermarket things that keep that game going. The third-party softwares keep that game going. But also, let's take a look right now at Grand Theft Auto, and let's take a look at what happens at 22 UTC, right? It peaks at 14, and it dips right off, and it's way down here at 2,200. So that is crazy to compare it like that. It is just disingenuous. It means nothing, and you hurt your case when you're trying to do this. If you don't like Kingdom Come 2 for what it is, just be honest about it. But when you try to do things like this is embarrassing. I mean, the game is doing well. And again, when we go look at SteamDB, it's already past its peak from yesterday and going right back up. It hit its peak around 1,900 yesterday, and right now it's at 1,600 time. It has another 3 hours, and it's probably going to continue rising. So I just don't understand why people want to make an argument like this. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it really hurts credibility. And then over here, John again With the kissing scene, this is the scene that IGN likes to bait people with, where he's trying to say go woke, go broke. And we all know Embracer Group has its issues. It absolutely does. It's not a really great company. They're owner of Deep Silver, who owns Warhorse, who made King Deliverance II. Okay. They didn't have a really great last few days. They've gone down percentage points, but as you can see, he's showing you the 1 month view and trying to say go woke, go broke. But when you look at the 5 days, it's only gone up. So again, like selling credibility for clicks, it isn't worth it. And we all know someone who's done this a lot, and that is Alyssa Mercante, who is a joke in the industry. Is that really someone you want to emulate? I know that's not someone that I will be emulating. That is an embarrassment. But so let's get into the the Daniel Vavra dunk show. So if anyone's not aware, John Del Rose is one of those very Christian people who's like, sodomy is bad and all of that. Fine. Okay, that's his view. Fine. Okay. So this is Daniel who's not happy about it, right? Saying this is a caricature of a man literally crying and whining for a month about one optional choice in his side quest, 100+ hour game without even playing it. Imagine how insecure he must be about his own preferences. Now, this is very funny. He says this before he knows some information. Meanwhile, everyone who played the game doesn't give a F. Of course, this was where John was saying Kingdom Come Deliverance II was one of the biggest insults to gamers and Christians in recent years. I think he has somewhat of a point there when you talk about what you can do with Henry in the game and actually, being with a man. I don't think it's right. Again, especially since the first game was very pro-Christian. Again, I'm against that whole thing being there as far as like changing him, but at the same time, it's not something I'm going to be all hung up over because once again, it's a video game. It's a very deep cut side quest, right? This isn't something that's main path you have to do. And people are trying to say, oh, the only way to become a master swordsman is by doing that. Like, no, that's not true. That's wrong too. Again, lots of misinformation. But we go down here and he's replying. Daniel Vavra, again, game director for the game, is replying, and he likes the asses of gay furry characters. This is gold. But what is he talking about? He's talking about this. Okay. A couple weeks ago, Savvy absolutely eviscerated John Della Rose, who was trying to do the whole Christian values thing against women being scantily clad in games. An absolutely embarrassing stance to have. You're a joke if you have it. Absolutely a joke. But anyway, he was exposed by Savvy. Looks like Daniel Vavra has found that thread or someone has pointed him to it. He says, defender of Christian values against appearances of those evil homosexuals in games sharing some spicy furry gay asses. These anti-woke warriors are even more funny than good old social justice ones. Now, take a look at this. This is something that he shared, okay, a while back, 2019, and I don't care how long ago it was. This is embarrassing. He is a closet furry now. He was an open furry. He's been asked since this time on podcasts, like, why do you like furries? And he said, because they're fun. This is something he likes. And this is someone who's very pro-Christian, blah, blah, anti-gay. He is a closet something. We won't get into it, but he's a closet something. He's gone into the closet since being embarrassed about this. And Yorch Torch Games, who again, I've credited many times. I think he's a good guy. But he works now with John Della Rose. He works on the same website as him. Follow the money situation. He's there defending him in such a way where he's saying, which way modern gamer? And he's comparing Eve and this. I'll tell you right now, in this game, I'm not doing this. This is funny. I think this is funny. And, there's a place for it. It's not so disingenuous. But you can do this in the game, I guess, but I ain't going to do it. And of course, Eve is a huge win. Western game developers don't know what they're doing. I stand by that. Eastern is the way to go. And I'll be continuing to buy Eastern games more often than Western games. That is 100% the case. But in the end of things, I think with this situation, people are just getting a little ahead of themselves. And again, selling credibility for clicks, it's not worth it. It's not. You can dislike the game, okay? But this was a game that was going to be successful. It was going to be because there wasn't enough of an issue with it. It's not some woke garbage. And when you try to say go woke, go broke, and it's a big woke slop, blah, blah, blah. Embracer Group might be involved, who's problematic. But this game's not one of the problems. It having a few things in there that you don't like, isn't really like a problem to me. It isn't to me. But when you try to pretend it is, like it's another Veilguard, then you just look stupid. So anyway, I'm going to continue my playthrough on this, but here's the deal. Starting Thursday, we're going to be having the Viper Bite. This is going to be a weekly podcast that I run. I might have some guests from time to time. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to be going over the week of headlines, basically, you know, the big things that have gone on for the last week. And of course, whatever is very, very current, we'll spend a little more time on. But a lot happens in a week. You will not believe how much stuff happens in a week. So it's kind of nice to refresh the news cycle a little bit and kind of remember the things that have gone on. So we'll try to remember the things in the future, right? Hopefully this will help for our long-term memory to remember things that have happened. That is kind of the plan, and it will also help me as well. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Please be there. There will be a link below to the first episode, so you can go check it out on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so I can see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Love you, mean, peace. Bye, everybody.
He's owning every game.